Hi guys, welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. It's the start of a brand new day. We have subdued global cues because of the weak data that we've got. The macro data, jobs numbers grew just 20,000 in the US, was shocking there. But most, Asian markets are not as bad. So the SGX Nifty is now flat line. The Asian markets are actually trading well in the green right now. Shanghai is up about 0.5%, so is Hang Seng. Let's see which way we go. Our research team is here to give you the list of top 10 stocks as we head into trade today. Anuj, what are you looking at?
One large cap, one mid cap. Sonia, Esaar Motors I think has been very interesting. It's made some kind of hard bottom. The day it came out with bad sales, the stock rallied, and that rally has continued. It's near to a very strong resistance zone of around 22,000. It's a make or break for the stock. So let's see if there's follow through. Indian Hotels is the other one. In fact, a lot of Tata Group stocks, especially the consumption group stocks in the Tata Group are moving up, and there's been decent accumulation in the stock as well. So that is something that I'll watch out for.
For a green, I mean, you expect the stocks to be in the green. Okay. Well, I would obviously watch out for the banks. My sense is that this is a master stroke from State Bank of India, and as I was saying, it's a larger pool of deposits. If there is a rate cut on April 5th from the Reserve Bank, a larger pool of deposits get cheaper for State Bank of India, but a slightly smaller pool of loans get cheaper. So actually for SBI it would be margin accretive. It also ensures transmission. So my sense is those people who have a larger exposure to working capital and cash credit, like many of the PSU banks, could perhaps actually see a margin decrease because of this competition from SBI. But we have the big man from SBI himself joining us, Mr. P.K. Gupta, Managing Director. Good morning, Mr. Gupta. First, let me just revise these numbers. About 32% of your deposits constitute over 1 lakh savings accounts?
Approximately, yeah. See here, 45% is CASA, so about 38% is savings bank out of that, and about 80% out of that is savings bank deposits about 1 lakh. So around 30-31% approximately.
Okay.
Around
and
30%. Yeah.
About 25% of the loans would be cash credit and therefore linked to repo?
Yeah, that will be. But I think you're forgetting one more point, is that the MCLR also gets revised in the process.
Okay.
So all those linked to the MCLR also, see the MCLR, the way MCLR is computed is that you take all of your liability side actually. And since almost 38% is savings bank deposits there, or 30% which get repriced, so your MCLR also comes down by about 7 to 8 basis points. So all those linked to the MCLR also will start getting that benefit actually.
So Mr. Gupta, will this be margin accretive, and can you quantify the impact for us?
See, on an overall basis, I don't think that it will be a huge change in trust so in terms of the net income for the bank. But if you look at it in terms of whenever the policy rate changes, so the impact on the balance sheet comes from various sources. So one is, of course, on your deposit side, your liability side, then you have your investment book, then you have MTM on your investment book. So I think if you take all of those factors into consideration, I don't really think that, it will be possible for anybody to quantify and say that whether the net impact will be, always positive or negative. But then again, the movement, I suppose, will happen both ways. The rates will go up at certain times and the rates will go down certain
Actually,
times.
that is my question. So, do you think if there is a repo rate hike, banks will be able to pass it on like this? At that time, it will hurt your margins.
Automatically, see, once you are given, everybody understands that the loans are linked to the repo rates.
Okay.
So, and again, as a bank, you don't have a discretion.
Okay.
It is easier to pass on the asset side also any increases on account of policy rate changes for the bank.
Okay. Mr. Gupta, is it fair to say that those banks that have only 25 or 30% of their exposure to cash credit and working capital loans will be able to manage this? I guess, HDFC Bank and ICICI have a lot of retail loans, so they are not affected by this linkage. But a lot of PSU banks have a larger percentage of cash credit and working capital. They will have a problem with this competition, right? They will struggle.
So it may not be the case. I guess each bank will have to, look at their own balance sheets. See, what has also been happening over the last few years is that lot of retail personal loans have been getting linked to the fixed rate. So typically these days all 2-3 year, 2 year, 3 year, even 5 year loans, most of the auto loans or the personal unsecured loans, they are all fixed rate loans actually.
Yes.
They don't in any case get impacted by the changes in the policy rates. So it's only the cash credit component. But again, going forward, from 1st of April, there is a very major change that is happening. That RBI has already brought in the regulation saying that people need to move to WCDL actually. So I guess that that will also make sure that the component of the cash credit or overdraft accounts which are linked to these floating rates will be actually much lesser going forward.
Will be much larger.
Lesser actually. You know what happens is that out of the open
cash credit
account.
Go ahead, sir.
So I move some portion of it onto a WCDL, which is actually kind of a fixed rate for that duration of the loan actually.
Okay.
So that impact will be much lesser.
So for you, how much will your linked loans be in that case? Will it fall to 20%?
No, as I said, our total loans which will get linked to this is approximately 20%. And on a rough basis, I think in terms of a net interest margin for the banks, the way we have done is it's almost neutral. There is not much impact on the bank's balance sheet on either way.
Okay. All right. Mr. Gupta, since we have you with us, what is your own expectation from the RBI in the April policy? Do you see the possibility of another 25 basis points rate cut?
I think it's difficult to say. I think the concern for RBI has been is that the monetary policy transmission, if they do believe that the transmission is going to be effective actually, so it could prompt them to go for some rate cut. But I think at this point of time we need to see how the whole market evolves. Are there any issues? We have said that we are going to implement this from 1st of May. So by then we will look at our IT system, we will look at all operational issues that may come up in the process of implementing this actually.
Okay.
So we'll have a little more clarity by then actually.
So why didn't you link home loans? I mean, we would benefit.
Home loans also will get linked. See, even on the home loans, the MCLR benefit of 7-8 basis points will start coming in any case.
Yeah.
See, I think from the bank's point of view, I think the one limitation which you must understand is that most of your deposits are fixed rate deposits. The average majority of those fixed rate deposits is more than 1 year. So that is where the 1 year MCLR brings some stability to the bank's limits actually. So in any case, the new home loans which will get done at the new MCLR, so that will have an impact of the policy rate adjustments.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gupta, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much indeed for joining us with your explanation and data details on the very big step that you all announced of linking a part of your deposits and a part of your loans to the repo rate. We're definitely going to see some changes when the Reserve Bank cuts rates next. This anyway becomes effective only from May 1st. So, the Reserve Bank cut, if any, in April, will turn the wheel of rates only from May 1st. But this is even smarter. Their working capital loans are going to be even less because some of it will be converted under new RBI rules to term loans. And therefore, this is a master stroke from SBI. I don't believe that their margin is going to be the same. The margin will improve.
All right. Well, let's see. Time will tell. But we actually interrupted our top 10 segment with the management of SBI because that was the big news of the day. We have our entire research team to tell us what are the other stocks that will move and shake today. Abhishek is here to tell us about the Esaar steel resolution beneficiaries. Abhishek, what are the stocks to keep on our radar?
Well, the biggest beneficiary, Sonia, will be HDFC Limited. 17.4% of its gross NPA may be, linked to Esaar exposure, followed by Union Bank of India and IDBI Bank. So the smaller beneficiaries are UCO Bank, which has the lowest exposure in Esaar Steel, followed by Bank of Baroda and Bank of India. Three lenders have got 100% of the claims that have been admitted in terms of accepted. So that is Bank of Baroda, Bank of India and SC Lowry. Lowest exposure of amounts claimed is by ICICI Bank, a little less than 90% of the amounts that it has claimed has got admitted into resolution process. IDBI Bank and Syndicate Bank. Lenders exposures has been rejected as well, like PNB for example, 2.5% of its claims have been rejected, followed by Corporation Bank and the likes. The top three exposure in Esaar is of SBI, Edelweiss ARC and as well as IDBI Bank, while the lowest exposure is of UCO Bank. So in total, about 47,900 crores of claims have been admitted and 96% has been taken into resolution process. Back to you.
I mean, obviously SBI is the biggest beneficiary. It's the consortium leader as well. But Abhishek, thank you for telling us that even HDFC Limited is going to benefit. I don't think that was common knowledge. Okay, Sonia, Jet Airways, Mint has a positive story.
Well, yes, there are two pieces of news that could drive